Today we discuss about the some important question that asks in the final MBBS year, mainly for PVQ questions. There are the at least four questions we will discuss today. It is very important for KU Kathmandu University student. First of all, I will discuss about the hyperemissive gravitum definition. There is a severe type of vomiting that occur in pregnancy which has got deleterious effect on health of mother or incapacitates her in day-to-day daily activity. That is the definition of hyperemissive gravidum. And there is also asked for the differential diagnosis of hyperemissive gravidum. First of all, there is a pregnancy associated, or there is a other cause, gastrointestinal causes. In gastrointestinal causes, we should write about the gastritis, cholecystitis, hepatitis, pancreatitis, appendicitis. Or the UTI is very common in the pregnancy, urinary tract infection, or the diabetic ketoacidosis, thyrotoxicosis, or ovarian tumor. And another question, there is a complication of hyperemissive gravidum. Hyperemissive gravidum, there is a complication of hyperemissive gravidum, acute kidney failure, diaphragmatic rupture, or the esophageal rupture, Mallory Westrier, hypothromemia due to the vitamin K deficiency, or Wilkins encephalopathy is common and due to the deficiency of vitamin K. And there is a triadiabetic encephalopathy, global confusion, ataxia gait, or ophthalmophasia, and the pontine myelinolysis, peripheral nephritis, or coma or confusion. And there is a one question I will discuss about the for PVQ question that asks in a final exam. It is the case of hyperemissive gravidum. Definition, differential diagnosis, or complication are sometimes also asked about the management of the hyperemissive gravidum. I will discuss about the management of hyperemissive gravidum in next lecture. And another question that is very common, gestational diabetes mellitus, and it is also important for PVQ. There is a ask for the definition of gestational diabetes mellitus. It is also important in Viva. Gestational diabetes mellitus is defined as a carbohydrate intolerance of variable severity with onset of the first recognition during the pregnancy at least 24 to 28 weeks of pregnancy, and insulin resistance during pregnancy due to the mainly placenta release hormone, human placenta, lactose, and other hormone also contribute. That there is estrogen, progesterone, or cortisol. And the diabetes, if there is a diabetes in pregnancy, first of all, if the female was normoglycemic before the pregnancy, during the pregnancy there is occur of insulin resistance due to the placenta, lactose, or other hormones, also estrogen or progesterone, cortisol, then become the diabetes or gestational hypertension. If the pregnant diabetic female has conceived, then it also called as a over diabetes, and the blood sugar level increases on the first day of pregnancy. And in gestational diabetes, the blood sugar level after 24 to 28 week of pregnancy. If in the diabetes patient, the increase the blood sugar level, there is also increase of free radicals, and the free radicals that lead to the congenital malformation. And there is a criteria for the diagnosis. Criteria for diagnosis is the fasting glucose greater or equal to 126 mg per dl, or the 2-hour postprandial greater than or equal to 200 mg per dl following the ingestion of the 75 gram of glucose as per as the American Diabetes Association. Value ranges for 140 to on 200 mg per dl 2 hours following the ingestion of 75 gram of glucose is known as the impaired glucose tolerance. Impaired glucose tolerance 140 to 200 mg per dl or 2 hours following the ingestion of 75 gram glucose is known as the impaired glucose tolerance. And now there is a diagnosis of gestational hypertension. First of all, there is a first step is recommended by the WHO, and the second step is approached by the ACOJ, and the two-step approach recommended by the ACOJ. In the first step, it is a screening test, that is a glucose challenge test, and it are done in the 24 to 28 week, and the no fasting is required. And the method is 50 gram glucose given to the patient. After 1 hour, check the blood sugar level. If the less than 140 mg per dl, nothing to do, or more than 140 gram per dl but less than 180 gram per dl, there is the do the next step diagnosis. And if the more than 180 gram per dl, that is the diabetes confirmed. And the second step, perform a 3 hour 100 oral glucose tolerance test. Glucose preparation, the overnight fasting 8 to 10 hours. Then first sample we should already do the in morning the fasting blood sugar sample and give the 100 gram of glucose. Second sample after 1 hour postprandial. Third sample 2 hour postprandial. Fourth sample 3 hour postprandial. Total sample is 4, and if any 2 or more than 2 equal are abnormal, that confirm the diabetes. Then second approach, which is recommended by the WHO, one step approach, no need screening test. Directly at a 24 to 28 weeks, ask the patient to overnight 8 to 10 hours, and first step in morning fasting blood sample. After the 2 hours 75 gram oral glucose tolerance, give the 75 gram oral glucose tolerance test. After 1 hour second sample, after 2 hours third sample. Total third sample, if 1 or greater than 1 value are abnormal, the patient is said to be on diabetes. And now we will discuss about the diagnostic. Nowadays the DIPSI criteria is following the India. In DIPSI criteria, no fasting needed whenever the female comes for antenatal visit, not necessary 24 to 28 week, irrespective of the previous meal. Check happen or whatever we eat. Give the 75 gram glucose after 2 hour blood glucose level. If greater than 120 glucose intolerance, if greater or equal to 140 gram, the gestational diabetes, or greater than or equal to 200 mg per dl, that is called over diabetes. And there is also asked another question, that is the maternal complication, what occurs in the gestational diabetes. During pregnancy, at pregnancy time, there is a abortion, preterm labor, infection, polyhydramnios, maternal diabetic retinopathy. And during labor, there is a big baby, so the dystocia, prolongation of labor due to the big baby, or perineal injury, and postpartum hemorrhage or operative interference, and if periperium, puerperal sepsis, or lactation failure. In maternal complication, what occur in the gestational diabetes? We write in the also directly during pregnancy, during labor, preparing, but we will write in this way, then externally good marks occur. In maternal, increase the infection, asymptomatic bacteria, UTI occur, in which increase the preterm labor or premature rupture of membrane. Big placenta, the placenta previa, or increase the pregnancy, introduce hypertension. Hyperglycemia to the fetus. Polyuria, polyhydramnios, that's called polyhydramnios. Premature rupture of membrane, preterm labor, malpresentation, abortive placenta, cord prolapse, postpartum hemorrhage. In future, increase the chance of diabetes. All the patient after delivery between 4 to 12 weeks of delivery do the glucose tolerance test. We will write away the maternal complication during pregnancy, during labor or puerperium, but we will write in this way. There is a clear concept. Increase the pregnancy, what will increase the infection. What if increase in pregnancy, what will occur? Asymptomatic UTI, which leads to the increase the preterm labor or the premature rupture of membrane increase, or if there is a big placenta, the placenta previa, or the increase the pregnancy introduce hypertension. If the hyperglycemia to the fetus, if baby eats more than the polyuria and polyuria that occur the polyhydramnios, then premature rupture of membrane, preterm labor, malpresentation, abortive placenta, cord prolapse, postpartum hemorrhage. Increase the chance of pregnancy on the patient. After delivery 4 to 12 weeks, we will do the glucose tolerance test. Now there is a fetal complication. In fetal complication, we already increase the insulin, macrosomia, increase the weight of fetus, shoulder dystocia. That's why there is a perineal injury, operative interventions, and the most increase the chance of the death of fetus. Mostly in the diabetes are the macrosomia, but rarely IUGR may also seen. Diabetes, pregnancy introduce hypertension over diabetes with vasculopathy. And we will discuss about the neonatal complication in this way. The premature respiratory distress syndrome, long maturity delay, hypoglycemia less than 40 gram per dl, and there is a decrease of hypocalcemia, hypomagnesemia, and hypokalemia. Hyperviscosity syndrome, polycythemia, hemoglobin will be more than normal, hyperbilirubinemia. That's also led the jaundice. And then another question we will discuss about the postpartum pregnancy. Any pregnancy which beyond the 42 weeks, that is postpartum pregnancy. Pregnancy continue beyond the 2 weeks of the expected date of delivery, more than 42 weeks or to 95 days. It is called the post maturity or the postpartum pregnancy, or pregnancy 41 to 40 weeks, that is prolonged pregnancy. Risk factor for the postpartum pregnancy is wrong date. First of all, wrong date due to the incorrect LMP, most common. Biological variability, heredity may be seen in the family. Maternal factor, primary multipara, history of previous prolonged pregnancy, or sedentary habits. Fetal factor, congenital anomalies, anencephaly, abnormal fetus, hypopituitary axis, adrenal hypoplasia, diminish the cortisol response. Placental factor, that is a sulfatase deficiency, low estrogen. And what are the complications occurring in the postpartum pregnancy? First of all, there is the oligohydramnios, Likert increase, that lead to increase the chance of meconium aspiration syndrome, increase the chance of cord compression, macrosomia, excessive fat deposit on the shoulder or the trunk, that lead to the increase the cesarean, to increase to tendency to do cesarean section, intracranial hemorrhage, or increase the chance of operative delivery, or increase the chance of birth trauma due to the non-modeling of it, And placenta aging, placenta insufficient fetal distress, and acidosis is that of the stillbirth. In the first step, review or menstruation history. Fetal adrenal gland, that DHEAS means dehydroepiandrosterone sulfate, and that is used by the placenta to synthesize the estrogen and the signal given to the uterus to start the contracting. That if high in the dehydrotestosterone, dehydroepiandrosterone sulfate is high, there is a cause the early puberty in female or male. And the maternal complication, chemical pneumonitis, ataxia, pulmonary hypertension due to the meconium aspiration, hypoxia, respiratory failure, hypoglycemia, and polycythemia.